Hi, I'm Monique from Take Me to Europe Tours. It's a hot and windy day down at Mandrake Harbour in Rhodes. I'm standing here at the site of one of the ancient wonders of the world, where the Colossus of Rhodes once stood.
When I was a kid, the textbooks showed the Colossus of Rhodes as one of the seven wonders of the ancient world, as a towering statue, as tall as a skyscraper, with its legs on either side of the harbour in Rhodes. The Colossus of Rhodes stood in Rhodes town on the Greek island of Rhodes, and it was assumed that it stood at the mouth of Mandrake harbour. There were two kinds of historical images of the Colossus, one where it straddled the harbour, and the other where it stood at the entrance to the harbour, perhaps where the fort of St. Nicholas is today. Mandrake harbour begins where the old walled city of Rhodes ends, and has a row of windmills, a fort, a marina, and on either side of the mouth of the harbour are two statues. They are tall columns that are each topped by the figure of a deer. If the Colossus of Rhodes had straddled the harbour, the deer statues are where its legs would have been. It was known to be 108 feet high, or 2/3 of the size of the Statue of Liberty. There wasn't anything like it in the ancient world. The Colossus of Rhodes is a fascinating glimpse into the turbulent history of Rhodes. It was such a rich gateway for trade that it was always being invaded and raided. Things were really looking grim for Rhodes in 304 to 305 BC, during what has become known as the Siege of Rhodes. The king of Asia, Demetrius Polycetes, bore down upon Rhodes Island with his siege engines and his navy for a year. At the time, Rhodes was allied with Egypt, who luckily sent a fleet of ships as reinforcements. Demetrius retreated, leaving his siege engines on the island. And when you want to build a great big victory statue to the sun god Helios, what better materials to build it with than the invaders' Heliopolis siege engines? They were sold off, and the money they received, and any left behind weapons, were together used to construct the statue. It stood for only 54 years before an earthquake in 226 BC sent it tumbling down. The leaders of the city were unsure if they should reconstruct the mighty statue designed by Charos of Lindos, and so they did what everyone did when they had an important decision to make. They consulted the Oracle of Delphi. Oracles never give you a straight answer, and there seemed to be a possibility that the statue had fallen because the Rhodians had offended the gods, and so they left the statue in ruins. So where was the statue really built? It's most likely not at Mandrake Harbour at all, but instead at the Acropolis of Rhodes, on a hill above Rhodes town, a few miles from the harbour.
Mandrake Harbour and the Colossus of Rhodes is an integral stop on any trip to Rhodes, and Rhodes is one of the most interesting islands in the world. It's certainly one that has some of the most interesting ancient and medieval ruins to discover. It's why on Take Me to Europe Tours we design tours that include this beautiful city and this beautiful island. Make sure to sign up to our newsletter so that you can find out about new and upcoming experiences that include the wonderful island of Rhodes.